I've been sitting on this bench for 42 years. I've seen liars, I've seen cheaters, I've seen people so entitled they think the rules were written for everyone else except them. But the morning Marcus Chen walked into my courtroom wearing a $2,000 hoodie and AirPods still in his ears, I knew this was going to be different. He didn't just think he was above the law, he thought he'd disrupted it. 9:13 a.m., 13 minutes late. The courtroom doors opened and Marcus Chen strolled in like he was walking into a pitch meeting. Hoodie, jeans, sneakers that cost more than most people's rent, and those AirPods, white, shiny, still sitting in his ears like he might need to take an important call at any moment. He didn't remove them. He sat down at the defendant's table, pulled out his phone, and started scrolling. I let him settle in, let him get comfortable. Then I took off my glasses, set them down on the bench with a click that made everyone in the room stop breathing. Mr. Chen, he looked up, barely, one AirPod still in his ear. "I'm sorry, are we boring you?" He blinked. "Oh no, Your Honor, just wrapping up a text, give me 1 sec." "No, one word, sharp as a knife. You don't get 1 sec, you get 0 secs. Because you're already 13 minutes late and you just walked into my courtroom with earbuds in your head like you're waiting in line at Starbucks." He reached up slowly, pulled out the AirPods, tried to smile. That particular Silicon Valley smile that says, "I'm humble, but also a genius." "My bad, Your Honor. Traffic was, I nodded slowly. Traffic was unpredictable. I've heard that before, usually from people who don't own $450 million companies and can't afford a driver. His lawyer jumped in. "Your Honor, my client sincerely apologizes." I held up one finger. "Counselor, I don't remember asking you to speak. When I want to hear from you, I'll ask you a direct question. Until then, you're a very expensive piece of furniture. Sit quietly." She sat. I looked at Marcus. "Mr. Chen, let me explain something to you. This is not a TED Talk. This is not a pitch meeting. This is not one of those conferences where everyone pretends to be interested in your app while secretly checking their phones. This is a courtroom, my courtroom. And in my courtroom, we follow 3 very simple rules." I held up 3 fingers. "Rule number 1, you show up on time. Rule number 2, you show respect. Rule number 3, you tell the truth. And so far, Mr. Chen, you're 0 for 3. Marcus shifted in his chair. The smile was fading. "Now, do you understand why you're here, or should I use smaller words?" His lawyer whispered something to him. He nodded. Then he looked at me with that expression I've seen 1,000 times before. The look of someone who's about to say something they think is clever. "Your Honor, I think there's been a misunderstanding." "Stop." I leaned forward. "Let me save you some time. You're about to tell me this is all a big misunderstanding, that you're a job creator, that you're innovating, that your app has 50 million users and you're changing the world. Am I close?" His mouth opened, closed, opened again. "Am I wrong, Mr. Chen?" Silence. "That's what I thought. Now sit there quietly and let's hear from Miss Torres, because unlike you, she showed up on time." Rebecca Torres stood up. She was wearing a simple dress, hands folded, posture perfect. The kind of composure that comes from working double shifts and raising 2 kids alone. "Miss Torres," I said gently, "please tell the court what happened." Rebecca took a breath. "Your Honor, I own Rosie's Coffee and Books. It was my mother's cafe. She opened it 30 years ago. When she passed 5 years ago, I took it over. It's been our family's life, our community's gathering place." She pulled out a folder. 6 months ago, Mr. Chen's company launched an app called Value. It's a rating system. People can rate local businesses anonymously. He marketed it as honest reviews for the digital age. I glanced at Marcus. He was looking at his phone again. "Mr. Chen," my voice cut through the room like a blade. "Put the phone down." He set it down, slowly. "Miss Torres, continue." 2 months after the app launched, my cafe started getting terrible reviews, 1-star ratings, dozens of them. They said the coffee was bad, the service was rude, that we had rodents. Her voice cracked slightly. "We've never had a rodent problem, never. The health department inspects us quarterly. We've had perfect scores for 15 years. She pulled out printed screenshots. "But these reviews, they were all posted within 3 days. Same language, same phrases. I hired a digital forensics expert. He traced the IP addresses. They all came from the same location." She pointed at Marcus. His company's headquarters, Mr. Chen's employees were posting fake one-star reviews to drive traffic to his app. They targeted small businesses that couldn't fight back, including mine. And what happened to your business, Ms. Torres? I lost 60% of my customers in 2 months. I had to let go of 3 employees. I'm behind on rent. My kids, she stopped, breathed. My kids asked me why people are saying mean things about Grandma's cafe. I didn't know what to tell them. The courtroom was silent. I looked at Marcus Chen. Mr. Chen, is any of this true? Marcus stood up, straightened his hoodie. Your Honor, with all due respect. There it is. I pointed at him. With all due respect, that's how I know you're about to disrespect me. Go ahead, let's hear it. He smiled, actually smiled. Your Honor, Miss Torres is describing a feature, not a bug. Value is designed to surface authentic user experiences. If her cafe received negative reviews, that's data, that's the market speaking. The market, I repeated slowly. The market that your employees created by posting fake reviews from your office? Your Honor, our team was beta testing the platform. Beta testing? I set down my pen. Is that what we're calling fraud now? Beta testing? His lawyer jumped up. Objection, Your Honor. Overruled. Sit down. She sat. I stood up, walked to the front of the bench. Mr. Chen, let me tell you something. I've been doing this for 42 years. I've seen every excuse, every justification, every clever spin. And you know what they all have in common? They're all lies dressed up in expensive words. I picked up the forensics report. This document shows that 47 fake reviews were posted from your company's IP address, 47, in 72 hours. All 1-star, all targeting small businesses, including a woman who's trying to keep her mother's legacy alive and feed her 2 children. I looked directly at him. So let me ask you again, is this true? Marcus hesitated. Then he made his second mistake. He laughed. Not a big laugh, just a small dismissive chuckle. Your Honor, I think we need to understand the scale here. Value has 50 million users. We process 10 million reviews a month. If 47 reviews, less than 0.0001% of our volume, were posted by employees during testing, that's a rounding error. That's not fraud. That's noise. Noise. I let that word hang in the air. Ms. Torres, is your livelihood noise to you? Rebecca's eyes filled with tears. No, Your Honor. Mr. Chen, is Ms. Torres's mother's 30-year legacy noise? Your Honor, I didn't mean, you meant exactly what you said. I walked back to my bench. You think because you have 50 million users, 47 fake reviews don't matter. You think because you're worth $450 million, one woman's coffee shop is just noise. You think because you went to Stanford and sold a few apps, you're smarter than everyone else in this room. I sat down. Let me tell you what I think. I think you're a bully in a hoodie. I think you built a weapon and then acted surprised when people got hurt. And I think you walked into my courtroom today expecting to tech talk your way out of consequences. I leaned forward. But here's the thing about consequences, Mr. Chen. They don't care about your valuation. They don't care about your user base. They don't care how many times Forbes put you on a list. They're coming anyway. Ari Hook 2. Marcus's smile was completely gone now. Your Honor, I'd like to propose a settlement. I'm sure you would. I opened the file in front of me. But before we get to that, I want to hear from one more person. I nodded to Bird. Call Mrs. Chen to the stand. An elderly woman stood up from the gallery, 80 years old, moving slowly. She walked to the witness area with quiet dignity. Mrs. Chen, please state your relationship to this case. I've been living in this neighborhood for 40 years, Your Honor. Rosie's, Ms. Torres's cafe, that's where I have breakfast every morning, where I read my paper, where I know I'll see friendly faces. Her voice was soft but steady. After those reviews came out, I watched the place empty. I watched Rebecca cry while she served coffee. I watched her children ask why nobody comes anymore. She looked at Marcus. This young man doesn't know what he destroyed. He thinks it's just numbers, but it's not. It's people. It's community. It's 30 years of trust and love that his computer deleted in 3 days. She turned back to me. I don't know about apps or technology, but I know wrong when I see it, and this is wrong. The courtroom was absolutely silent. Then Marcus Chen made his final fatal mistake. He checked his phone, right there, while an 80-year-old woman was testifying about how his app destroyed her community. He pulled it out of his pocket and glanced at the screen. Bailiff. My voice could have shattered glass. Bird moved toward Marcus. Take Mr. Chen's phone. Now, Your Honor, I give it to the bailiff or I hold you in contempt. Your choice. You have 3 seconds. Marcus handed over the phone. I stared at him for a long, cold moment. Mr. Chen, I've been patient. I've listened to your excuses. I've watched you smirk and laugh and dismiss a woman whose life you ruined. I've watched you treat this courtroom like it's beneath you. And now you just checked your phone while an 80-year-old woman was telling you about the damage you caused. I stood up again. So let me be very clear. I don't care that you're a CEO. I don't care that you're worth $500 million. I don't care that 50 million people use your app. In this room, you're just another person who hurt someone and needs to be held accountable. I picked up the gavel. Here's my ruling. You will pay Ms. Torres $400,000 in damages. That covers her lost revenue, the employees she had to fire, and the emotional distress you caused. You will also pay an additional $200,000 to be distributed to every other small business your fake reviews targeted. Marcus's face went pale. Your Honor, I'm not finished. The room went dead silent. You will also issue a public apology on your app, on your website, and in a full-page ad in this city's newspaper, not written by your PR team, written by you, in your own words, explaining what you did and why it was wrong. And it better be real, Mr. Chen, because I'll know if it's not. I looked at his lawyer. Furthermore, Value will be required to implement a verification system for all reviews. No more anonymous ratings, no more fake accounts. If your business model can't survive without fraud, then maybe it doesn't deserve to survive. I sat back down. And one more thing, I'm referring this case to the Federal Trade Commission for investigation into deceptive business practices, because what you did wasn't just wrong, Mr. Chen, it was illegal. And I want to make sure every other disruptor out there understands that disruption doesn't mean you get to break the law. I picked up the gavel. Case closed. Get out of my courtroom. As Bird escorted Marcus toward the exit, the tech CEO turned back one more time. Your Honor, you don't understand how technology works. I didn't even look up. Bird, if he says one more word, hold him in contempt. Marcus's mouth snapped shut. Rebecca Torres was crying, but this time they weren't tears of sadness. Mrs. Chen put her arm around Rebecca's shoulder, and as Marcus Chen walked out of my courtroom, phone confiscated, ego shattered, $600,000 poorer, I thought about something my father told me when I was young. Character is what you do when nobody's watching. Integrity is what you do when everyone is watching, and it would be easier to do the wrong thing. Marcus Chen had neither, but Rebecca Torres had both. And in my courtroom, that's the only algorithm that matters. 30 days after the ruling, 3 things happened. Value stock dropped 23%. Investors started asking questions about the company's ethics. Rebecca's cafe had a line out the door. The community rallied. Local news covered the story. People came from across the city to support her. Marcus Chen posted his apology. It was 3 paragraphs, stiff, corporate, clearly written by lawyers despite my order. I referred him back to court for violating the ruling. He wrote a new one, 4 pages, handwritten, real. Sometimes people need more than one chance to learn. Sometimes they need a judge who won't let them buy their way out. And sometimes, just sometimes, justice isn't about the money. It's about making sure a mother can look her kids in the eye and say, "We didn't back down. Case closed."